Hi, this is Michael Evans. I'm currently the CEO of USPA Nationwide Security, and I'm also the CEO of Blue Line Capital, which is the parent company of StarterSecurityCompany.com and OfficerSupplyDepot.com, which is our new business. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the most efficient way to complete the general liability application for a new security business. Many of our clients have experienced frustration in this department. I've heard of new business owners getting quotes for $10,000, $15,000, or even $20,000 in their first year of business. Insurance premiums of those amounts can bankrupt you, especially if you're brand new. The reason that you're going to get such a highly quoted premium is because, number one, general liability, just like workers' compensation insurance, is based upon your projected or actual payroll, and many inexperienced security business owners overestimate their payroll in the application. And that's because they're writing down what they're hoping they're going to get, not what's really feasible in the market. And what other guys who have been through the first year of business can tell you, you're not usually going to do $1 million in payroll. All right, I'm going to take you step by step through the application, which can be found on our website, StarterSecurityCompany.com. Click on Insurance and Bond. If you're watching this video from the email newsletter, the application download is located just below this video. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is you want to look to the top right of this document and you want to check off general liability, because that's the type of application we're filling out. In the number one space, ask for your name. This is the name of your business, not your name. So for me, it would be USPA Nationwide Security. If you run a DBA, which is doing business as, you would put the name and then DBA, whatever it is. So if you're a sole proprietor and you're doing business as, so if you're Mike Evans doing business as USPA Nationwide Security, it would say Mike Evans, DBA, USPA Nationwide Security. If you're USPA Incorporated, you'll put USPA Incorporated. The second part here asks for your website. Here's an important note. Just know that the insurance carriers look at your website to see what type of services you're offering. There are some services that many insurance carriers will not even go near, such as nightclub, bouncers, and celebrity protection. If you're offering those things, just know that your premium is going to be a heck of a lot higher. I suggest taking those off if that's not something that you're really gearing toward or something that you want to go for, because it could seriously affect your premium or even your ability to obtain insurance. The next is your business address, and that's self-explanatory. They ask you if you've maintained offices in other locations. If it's yes, it's yes. If it's no, it's no. If you're a brand new business, I doubt it. So you'll check off no. If not, you'll put the address. The person to contact. That's the person who's putting the quote in, because they're going to send this to you. So for me, it would be Michael Evans. The title would be CEO, my phone number, fax number, and my email address. The date your business was established. Now, you may not be licensed yet, but if you're incorporated, that'll be the date that you've incorporated your business. The FEIN is your EIN number. It's usually like 26- something something something, and you get that from the IRS. If you don't have an EIN number for your business, in our ebook, How to Start a Security Company, we go step by step and show you how to do that. You could get it in 5 minutes online. You don't need to hire somebody to do it. Here you're going to check off what type of business you are. If you're a corporation, a partnership. If you're a sole proprietor, like I said before, doing business as something, you'll click that. Do you currently have, or have you ever operated under another name? Now, a lot of people check yes for this because sometimes maybe they were just a private investigator company and they changed the name of their business to something security because they want to go in that direction. You'll put your information there, the name, the date of your operation, and what you did. Number 8 is important, the principal. This is how they rate you as far as your experience. Most of us have some type of law enforcement or military, so you'll put your name here as the principal and your experience. The experience could be, 10 years as police officer plus 5 years security manager, or 10 years, U.S. Marines or whatever. If there's another principal in your business, that's a qualifying principal on your license. In other words, that was used to get your license, you put them there also. And maybe they'll add both of them up. Number 9, They're asking you in this one, what percentage is going to be security, what percentage investigation, and alarm monitoring. If you're doing 100% security, you're just going to put 100% there and zeros here. If you're doing 50-50 or you think you're going to do 50-50, you'll put them there. You'll just put the numbers in there. Number 10, they ask you if you're doing other things such as valet and janitorial. You could, if you plan on doing estate security where you're checking temperature controls, or if you're gonna do some type of monitoring of people's houses, or you're gonna do valet services, you'll check off yes and describe what you're gonna do. Number 11, do you subcontract work to others? This is an important question because they're going to decide out of your payroll what's actual employees and what's subcontractors. If you're not, then you're going to check no. If you are, you need to be very descriptive. If you're brand new, I would check off no. Do you have a training program for new employees? Now, if you have our general orders and our employee manual, you could take it directly out of that and you could reference that there. You could say you have a, whatever it is, a 20-hour indoctrination plus whatever your state is or your area for training. Like they get 16 hours of training and 12 hours of this or that. Just put it in there. Number 13 asks about your screening of your employees. Do you do a polygraph? Most of us don't. It's too much money. A drug screen? A lot of us do. So you'll check off which ones you do. Personal reference, I always say prior employment because I do, and it's required in New York where I'm operating. Fingerprint is also required. Psychological, it's up to you if you're going to do that. Criminal background, yes. Driving record, yes. And credit, I always put credit because I also check my people's credit. The historical payroll. If you're a brand new business, you're going to put 0, and zeros for both. Here's the important part to this whole entire application. This is the projected payroll. This is the part that I was talking about before where people overestimate what they're going to do as far as payroll in their first year. Generally, your first year, you could count on $30,000 of payroll or under. So let's really be honest with ourselves. You're probably going to do now. Before I even say it, you have to remember that you're projecting this. This is not something that's you're already in business and you're thinking, well, I did a lot of bodyguard last year. I'm going to do it again. So for your first year, you want to go with the lower risk construction sites, and then you could check off armed or unarmed. Maybe government contracts. If you've got BidNet and you're going for government contracts. Maybe $10,000 payroll in there, maybe $10,000 at construction site, and maybe $10,000 at a museum and gallery. Those are all low risk, which is going to keep your first year premium down. Now, if you plan on doing bodyguard, I suggest you do CEO protection only and families. I don't suggest that you do celebrities because the premium is much higher. Now, the chances of you getting a celebrity on your first year are slim to none anyway. So I would check off both armed and unarmed, and maybe I'd do $10,000 or maybe $5,000 in payroll for bodyguard and executive protection. And in this little spot here, I would write CEO only, which I just tried to do and it didn't work. But that pretty much takes care of that. Now, if you're doing bounty hunting and all these other things, you'll put it in here. If you're doing investigations, they want to know what your payroll, not what you're charging, but what your payroll for legal, missing persons. Most of you aren't going to have a payroll for that because a lot of brand new private investigators are paying themselves. The next section could get a little tricky. The client name is you again. It should autofill that when you put it in. Now, you may not have any employees, but don't forget you're projecting it. So I like to start off with 5. Total number of employees, 5. Maybe your full-timers is 1, which is you, and your part-timers is 4. Maybe you're the armed guard and the rest of them are unarmed. So it would be 5, and then in the full-time would be 1, part-time would be 4, armed is 1, unarmed is 4. Now, obviously I want you to tell the truth, but if you're a brand new company, you probably don't have anybody working for you when you're filling out your application. So you're you're really you're being honest with yourself. If anything, are all armed personnel properly licensed and certified? Obviously, that has to be yes. If you have a training school for number 19, you'll check off yes or no. If you sell products, most of you don't, you'll check off no. If you do, you put down what you sell. If you're doing fee-based credit checks, and it's something that I do, what you're going to do is you're going to check off yes. And what they're doing is they're offering, they're going to insure you for that. Also, number 20, if you do alarm installation or monitoring, put it down. Now, they'll want to know how many supervisors. Now, we said up top that you had 5 employees. So if you are the supervisor, then you have 1 supervisor. That's in number 23. Number of guards will be 4. Now, the total number of guard hours billed to the client annually. Here's an easy way to figure out your annual billable hours. If you're saying above that you're going to be at $30,000 in payroll, let's just make a real easy number that you're going to pay your guards $10 an hour. So in your mind, you know that you're paying them $10 an hour, and you have a $30,000 payroll. That gives you 3,000 billable hours. So maybe 2,500 there and 500 armed. So that's an easy way to figure it out. Just go by tens. Do you utilize dogs? Most of you is no. The ones who say you do and don't, get rid of it. 1, there's not a market for it. 2, it's ridiculous on your insurance. And there's really, like I said, there's no market for it. I had them in the beginning, and I actually had canine guys that worked in police departments, and I was getting insured for it, and I've never got a call for it. And when I did finally get a call for it, I gave them the price, and they hung up on me. Do you utilize mobile equipment, golf, security carts? If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. If you're brand new, you're not gonna say you do. Your standard contract. This is very important. That's number 27. We sell a standard contract and the all-in-one contract. I believe the all-in-one is the best product we have right now, and it's probably our cheapest. You want to use that all-in-one, and they're going to want to see it. So when you send in your application, if you don't have a standard contract, I suggest going to our website, startasecuritycompany.com, click on contracts, find that all-in-one, and purchase it. It's $15, and it's a huge asset to my company. Percentage using the standard contract, it should be 100%, because there really shouldn't be anybody who's not using your contract when you're in business with them. 27B, is there a lawyer looking at it? Let's not lie here. No one's having a lawyer look at their contracts every time they send them out. They're just 28 just asking if you have a written procedure for reporting incidents, and that's going to be yes, especially if you have our general orders and employee manual. 29 is important. Now, a lot of us were military or police beforehand. We want to give everybody aerosol, chemicals, and handcuffs and nightsticks, but the answer's got to be no to these things, especially when you're brand new. You're not going to hand pepper spray to a guy to go stand at a construction site or in a warehouse when there's no need for it. So put yes if you really plan on doing that, but if you don't, no is what's going to help you with your premium. Handcuffs, no. Nightstick, no. Most states, nightstick for a security guard is not even legal. Flashlight, yes. But you see how they asked about the 5-cell flashlights? My guys that were law enforcement, you'll remember that they started taking away the 5-cell flashlights during your career because guys were using them as nightsticks. And if you had a use of force form, you really weren't filling it out because you didn't use your nightstick. You used your flashlight, which was almost a procedure in and of itself. PR24 asked if you give them out, then yes, but I suggest you don't. Then they want to know 29A is if you give any of those things, are they trained? 30 through 33 is for investigation companies only, and just answer these questions honestly. The next place you're going to put your signature, your title, and your date. Again, the client information on the top here is going to be filled out already. The effective date, just put the date that you're filling it out. The insurance carrier will actually put the date that the policy is bound. The limit should always be $1 million to begin with. Now, if you've never had insurance before, you could just put NA for past year premium and payroll. In the past 5 years, have there been any claims presented against you, or, answer yes or no. You have to be honest in these things. If you have any knowledge concerning incidents, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you're brand new. You shouldn't have any of these issues. So that should be no. Number 6, got to answer that. Number 7, the total number of clients. Now, if you're a brand new business, you're going to put 0. And then in this section A here, you're just going to write the word new business. And they know that you're guessing or estimating your payroll, and they don't expect it. Now, if you've been open for a year or two and you're filling this out because now you could get insurance for $2,800 for the year rather than $20,000, put the names of your business here and what you do. 7-Eleven Incorporated, Uniform Guards. McDonald's Incorporated, Uniform Guards. Joey Buttafuoco, and we do bodyguard service for him, unarmed. But who would want to protect him anyway? Number 9. Number 9 is really not something that a brand new company is going to do, because it's asking if your clients want these things. Waiver of subrogation and primary wording and all these other things. Additional insured, which is listed right over here, you're able to get that no matter what, once you've got your policy bound. So I would speak to Pat Schnell about that at the Mechanic Group. You're not really going to need any of those things in your first year. And I don't think you're going to need number 10 for anything. But right here where it says hired car, non-owned auto, that's a good thing if, and it's something that I use, when your security guards are driving your client's vehicle. In other words, if your client says, here, we have a vehicle here for your guys to patrol in on our property, it just says security on it, we pay for the gas, but your guys are driving it, you want to check that off, because when your guards are driving your client's vehicle, your guard's not going to be covered. So, and that's something Pat Schnell could discuss with you. Now, the supplemental application, if you're a brand new business, you're not gonna check any of these because you don't have any clients yet. If you've been in business, you're gonna check yes or no for all these different things. And that's really it. You're gonna print this whole thing out, sign it, and you're gonna fax it to the number that's right on the top of the application, and the attention of Pat Schnell. And the fax number is right here on the top right. Okay. Good luck, and thanks for watching.